hello, good day, everyone. It's a beautiful Monday and it's a new week. Wow, it's looking exciting. My girls are here. It's all looking beautiful. What a face. Good morning, young ladies.
Good morning, Daddy Chris. Good morning,
Good morning,
Princess.
Daddy Chris. Good morning, Mary.
It looks like a beautiful week ahead of us. Yes, a lot has happened. It's a new week and it's an exciting week. It's a week of success. I pray into the week that this week will be one of this week we've been talking about, the week we've been waiting for in Jesus' name.
Amen.
What a
Amen.
day to what a way to open a week. Well, like we all know, Nigeria is the national anthem is going on. I don't know whether some depressing news I get on this social media can be misleading. I'm confused. We only played only one match in the Nigerian qualifying this thing, and they already predicted that we're not going to qualify. Or have we played more than one match?
That is Nigerians. The Super Eagles are complaining that the problem is Nigerians themselves. That is
Have you,
Super Eagles against Nigerians.
have
I
you,
told you they will actually want to use their bad mouths to discourage these players and
in
to
fact,
affect them.
it's depressing. I was listening to it and I say, but it's only one we played. Now they predicting, and if you see the prediction online, sometimes I'm just confused. Anyway, let's start with that sad story. It's like Labour and the federal government are making progress, Princess. Any progress on that?
Okay, they'll be having the final meeting today. We're hearing that Labour has actually come down to 250,000 instead of prior to the 490 something thousand they were actually yearning for. Now they've reduced to 250, while government is still at 62,000. And so they're supposed to have the final meeting today of the number of days Labour actually gave to them to resolve this. The federal government and Labour will be meeting today, and of course the head of information NSC might join us. That was what he said, that if he's free, but because they have very tight schedule, but he will join quickly, even if it's just 2 3 minutes to speak and leave. But that they're having a very crucial meeting with the federal government, and that meeting will decide the way forward after today.
So it's 250 from Labour. Federal government is still at 62,000,
62,000.
and we understand the state governors are at 57. Is that right?
The state
Yeah.
governor, that is right, they're at 57.
May God help us. And it's better to understand this in context. Anyway, we cannot predict what will happen today. Let's see what happened. And then we pray Labour hold their stand. 250 is too small to survive.
Even the 57,000, some of the governors are fran it still.
But what do they want? They want to keep having slaves. They want to have people working for them as slaves, because these governors you're talking about, they're going to have their own personal drivers, about 6 or 7 drivers working for them in their compound as as slaves. I don't understand whether people do understand what happened during the slave trade. During the slave trade, you see a lot of people in the farm working for free. You understand? And they're getting peanuts. That's exactly what we're doing now. You don't see that in Europe. It's hardly you see in Europe where you have somebody having all this load of workers doing what? Unless it be a factory, princess. But when you go to a politician's house now, you see the number of slaves moving up and down.
Funny enough, do you know I once wrote an article and I noticed that somebody that works for the governor, a logistics aide or whatever, she said that they have so many aides, they have so many workers. Talking, let's look at the cook, the chefs. This is at the government house. They
Yes.
have chefs, they have gardeners, they have cleaners, they have messengers. And by the time you
But my friend
calculate the
who was in office, he has all those people as well. So he's blaming the governor. Even ordinary commissioners, they do. You understand, princess? They have more than 2 drivers. The minimum drivers they have is 3. No, princess, let's calculate it. But what they
Yeah,
do,
so when you look at these people, it shows that even the governors, let's say they have wives and children, they don't cook. People cook for them to eat. And these people run shifts, meaning that uh, 3, 2 can be on duty. When they close, others come to stay overnight. So that is how they
so
waste the
that
resources
family
of such
touch is no
people.
more there. For a family touch where your wife cook and you come and eat
Cook,
with your family,
yes.
it's not there. So somebody cook for you, Sheriff. You go give you poison, you gonna go die quick. In fact, this we don't know how to instigate workers against these people. I think the opposite should come from the slaves. When slaves begin to get up and say, we no more want to be slaves, we're no more going to accept this treatment, that is when we're going to get out of this mess. It's not labor that is going to do this. The Nigerians themselves, they have to refuse slavery. I think that is where we're going. What an unfortunate situation. Anyway, let's see how whether this will lead us somewhere. But some Christians, I still want to hear this interesting story before we look at what today is having for us. It's okay to look back at last week, but it's so interesting that this number of children we are betting from the IDP camp is something I really want us to look into. In fact, when you breed that kind of numbers of children from IDP camp, you breed in those number of kidnappers. I am not saying that all of them will be wayward, but you cannot. It's not rocket science, or it's not. It's not God that's going to do it. If you bring up a child in a very difficult way, the only thing that child will know is defense. They are growing up in that harsh situation with no love. What do you think they're going to do? They're either going to be recruited by this terrorist group. Boko Haram have a chance of recruiting so many of them. And then, of course, not only Boko Haram, kidnappers have to recruit them.
Yes.
Yahoo boys will recruit them. What do you expect? You're just bringing future kidnappers. And who they're going to kidnap? It's not the parents. They're going to kidnap us. So the more you laugh about it, and it doesn't matter to you, it actually is your problem. And that is the thing we need to look at today, Princess. What is the situation? Is it there? Because we must, don't forget, we have one now in Okwama. We need to know whether the same thing is happening in Okwama. Because these people, anytime you people put women, vulnerable women in the camp, things are bound to happen, Princess.
Anyway, I have been speaking with somebody from Benue State. He will be joining the show shortly. And I actually caught somebody from Benue State. I've been calling people, while some were arguing that the figures are not factual, they are not correct, they are not accurate. A lady that has been, I know her to be somebody, always giving aids, doing programs with the IDP camps. She's from Benue. She has won so many awards. She's there. So I called her yesterday. To my surprise, she has relocated to the UK. She's here right now. She just came in, but she gave me somebody's number. She gave me somebody's number, and she said that I should reach out to the person, which she actually sent a voice note, and she confirmed to it that um as a December she went to an IDP camp, for one of her programs. While the adult there were barely 4,000, the number of newborn babies were like within 2 years down were up to 6,000. Now
Wait,
this
wait.
is
The
I
number
have
of
the voice
adults.
notes.
Are you serious, Princess?
Yes, yes. So she confirmed it. And of course, even the person she gave me the number as a new executive director, the guy also confirmed it this morning that yes, it's possible because the number of children they keep seeing at the IDP camps, these are adults put together. Sometimes they don't have any work they do, so all they do is to of course to have fun as men and women. They don't go out, they don't do anything, and so they keep giving birth uh, and all that. And at the end of the day, who suffers? The kid suffers because I don't want to believe that uh, IDP camps. We already know that government has really abandoned these people. We are having NGOs, individuals coming to their aids. Government practically sometimes forget that they are there. We know. Go to area one,
Princess,
there you will see them.
sorry, are there privacy that much in that place? Sometimes you have two, three in a room and stuff like that. Where do
And
they have?
the reason I want an expert here, like these people now that actually deal with them one on one to come on the show, is to ask some of these questions, and of course to tell us if children, the age gap, of some of these mothers there, and for us to know whether they are being abused or molested as well. I don't want to believe that every woman. I want to believe a woman, you already know the importance of a child, so you can't just sit in an IDP camp, have sex, and start be producing children, making babies. It's not a baby making factory there. So I do not understand why they are there, and people come try as much as possible to make sure that they don't starve, that they don't die of hunger, and the next thing you keep bringing burdens to these same people trying to
Listen,
help you. And so
exactly.
the guy will be on the show, and most of these questions, unanswered question, just apparently might be answered by him, or will be answered by when it comes.
All right.
Just
So,
like there's something that actually happened in Abuja recently. I think 18 years old boy actually went for them to remove his kidney. Said he wanted to give the kidney to his uncle. So I think later on, they had to ask the parents if they're aware of it. The dad is actually so angry because the boy didn't tell him. So the dad was now asked the doctor through the police, because they went to investigate the issue. The doctor, if he actually confirmed from his the boy's kidney. According to the doctor, that the boy is 18 and old enough to take decision. So they asked the boy, "What makes you think it's right for you to remove one of your kidney?" According to him, he said the doctor told him that he can live with one kidney forever. He can live with one kidney for the rest of his life. So that was the reason why he wanted to remove the kidney and to give it to his uncle for a particular amount of money, which they didn't state. So this has been the issue. So the dad is actually complaining and telling the police for them to actually take action for the arrest of the doctor and the uncle. The case is actually still ongoing. And also, some people
wow. This organ story is becoming a very serious issue, because it's like people are doing a very big business in Africa currently with this organ stuff, and it's like it's a very serious underground business. It's going to be harder, maybe more than human trafficking. It's going to be more than drug trafficking. That the government around across the globe need to take a close look at this big challenge. Princess, welcome back. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know that. This organ issue is something that a lot of people are actually using to make serious money in Nigeria. People are not looking into it. I bet
yeah,
you a
because we
lot
have
of.
until we saw the case of Ekweremadu, Senator Ekweremadu here. We never knew that somebody would be that desperate to convince somebody to. I don't trust the boy completely, but Ekweremadu was guilty in the sense that he was able to maneuver because of his wealth, the amount of money he had, to maneuver to get a donor who's not a willing donor now. The boy must have maneuvered. I don't know the truth of that story. Only God knows. You understand what really happened. But the bottom line is there is a big business there, because what madam would have paid was ready to pay as much as 20,000 or maybe 20 million for to save her daughter, to save his daughter, for instance. And that is the kind of thing we're talking about here. For a poor boy, Mary was giving us this sad story now. A poor boy who has no money, who has no future. They tell you if they give you 20 million naira, probably you can buy a car and have a house. You understand? Why
And
not say,
some of the issues and some of the problems we're having are also the medical experts. You telling somebody, a young boy, knowing fully well that this person is not in the age of right, is not even thinking well, that he can live with one kidney, he doesn't have issues. Meanwhile, you will not even find out their health condition for us, the implications that might go after. We know that, of course, people survive with one kidney, but don't forget that also people with health conditions, critical health conditions, are not supposed to go that far. I tell you a story of a priest, a very close friend of mine, a reverend father, that actually willingly gave kidney to somebody, one man, that the man was dying and the guy had to donate one of his kidney to this man. Even though the reverend father is strong, is capable, I know that since after, it could be due to the process anyway. I know that since after that surgery he actually gave to this person is the thing went successful, but apparently the man has not been himself up to today. The last time, I think I chatted last week, and he said he still went for another medical trip. So these are some of the things. Sometimes with our people, they don't ask, they just harvest, they just remove, they don't care, feeling that you can survive with one. What happened if the other one goes bad, or what happened if the person is not actually, it's not everybody. Now this is it, it's not everybody that is supposed to give an organ.
Yes.
And that is why I've seen a situation where somebody, the pregnant wife was really, really dying. She needed blood and all that. And because of money and poverty, and because hospital will not do emergency for anybody until they see that money, the man opted for his own blood. And these nurses did not even check him. At that point, the man's BP was already, very high because of the whole stress, the tension. He has been running for people, looking for people to give him money, to help. No help was forthcoming. And before you know, they just started removing his blood. He did not survive it. Even though the wife and the baby actually, and the woman will not stop blaming herself till this very day. So I think our medical sector needs overhauling. We've been saying that before. The rate
Yes.
at which they do things, the fact that you're telling that somebody that is 18 that he can live with one kidney, no, somebody else will hear this, other kids will hear this, and they will start harvesting as well. All they will care
Yes.
about is the
And that's
money.
the, I'm afraid that the West, who have some money, gonna prey on that because then before you know it, we'll start making children for harvest. And that is where we're gonna. That is the fear with this. You understand? Of course, we've seen story where girls are put in the place to make babies. What do you think they do with those kids? The kids that so, a doctor that could put children in a place and make them to have girls to have babies for them, and after having the baby, you go. What happened to what happened to those kids? What
Is
is the
is
next?
re- it's really sad, sir. I tell you the truth, it's sad. That is one thing that we need to look critically into in Nigeria. The rate at which people are harvesting organs, and they are not even done. They are not even being done by professionals. Most of these doctors, they don't care. We saw a lady that died last week. Mary, I don't know whether you saw the lady, a beautiful lady that died. That they said the doctor after CS they forgot something or something, and
Yes.
the
Now,
hospital is now writing letters up and down. Is not what actually happened, going left and right. So these are some of the issues. I think our medical sector needs overhauling. I think appropriate bodies should do more on this organ harvest. You see this Yahoo thing they talk about. Some of these people will say Yahoo boys. It's not even Yahoo they are doing, or they are not
Yes,
actually into internet fraudsters. These are the things they
these are
do.
the things. I
Most
see
of
some of
the
them as
girls,
kidnappers. Yes,
most of the girls that they will carry, they will slaughter, they will kill just to harvest their vital organs and give to somebody that is in their need. We know, like Ikweremadu would have gone any extent, would have paid
yes.
any amount to make sure that the daughter is okay. They don't care who they are harvesting from.
And do you know how many cases we have in Nigeria like that? It's quite
but
madam. It
but
was
the
killed
truth
because
is,
he was
people do
Nigerian.
this. Like, people get away with a lot of things in Nigeria. Because me, I
Yes.
believe this thing that happened right now didn't happen in Nigeria. There's no way that doctor will be arrested. This one that are saying the case is adjourned is so day, they are still following it, the police they are still investigating and all of that. It's wrong because first of all, the uncle needs to be arrested, the uncle of the boy. Because why didn't you even tell his parents? You had to take him to the hospital, and the doctor is now a kind of counseling him, explaining to him how it is not dangerous for him, how he can live with one kidney for the rest of his life. You understand? This is what you can actually tell the parent that you did not consult at first when you wanted to take this action. So I feel like a lot of people get away with some things they do in Nigeria because maybe it's because of the kind of system we have in the country, whereby they don't checkmate all these things and no action is being taken.
No,
Because
it boils down to one thing, Mary. The gap between the rich and the poor has perpetually put some people as slaves, as now sacrificial lambs. You understand? Now we've been using the word slaves. That's why I put the two. I want to pair the two together. We've been treated as slave for long. We've accepted it. Now we are now sacrificed. They use us to. They can dissect us, take whatever they want to make themselves feel better, for them to get well. And that is going to be a big business when the time comes, especially in a big population like Nigeria. Like I said, some children, look at those one birth in the IDP camp. A lot of children are going to come out there. They
what
are
kind of
not
children will IDP can if you tell them to remove their kidney, that one is
will.
okay for them, they will do
Listen,
more.
there's a story of someone that sold his child in Oshu State. Sold the child. You give birth on yourself. So what they do to the child, you don't care. Some girls, listen, we've seen story where girls get pregnant, they throw the baby away. So if there's a business for it now, don't be surprised. I guess we hide, make babies, and go and
And
get it.
sell them. That's it.
Okay,
Anyway, we like you said, people have been selling children. It's no longer a new thing to them. They sell kids on daily basis in Nigeria. These are parents, selling the child, not like somebody stole the child. The parents selling out the child. Now they don't care what the buyer is using the child for. Their
yes,
own is just to get the money. And so these are some of the issues. It's very disturbing, it's worrisome.
it is. It
Even
is.
when I spoke to Sewese yesterday, she was telling me that it's as if I knew what has been disturbing her. That the last that was I think that was the last program she did before she now traveled. That it was so disturbing that she in fact she was just angry. She was boiling. That you go to an IDP camp. You are IDP camp. You're trying to help. You're trying to see that these people don't starve to death. These people have something, shelter. You are advocating for government. To make a way, make their communities be peaceful, restore the place so that they can go back home. You're
Yes, there are
trying
so
your
many
best,
things here.
and
One, the
you
disease
go
will
there,
be
you will
shared.
see babies littered all over.
And
Six
we don't care
thousand
how many
children.
diseases they share. Because those people, they are not sleeping with protection, so they
That
don't
is
have social
another
protection.
that
Diseases.
that is another factor, health issues. And so I think
And we live in
maybe
the
like
same society with them. You will never know. You see a beautiful girl, you come from there, you jump, you get yourself in trouble. You see a fine boy. You see, we can't always live a society. Perhaps what I was talking to somebody yesterday about the political ideology I have is you cannot live. This is our individualistic lifestyle. Sometimes we think it doesn't concern me because it's not happening to me, but it is affecting you. The only reason you cannot sleep well is because people like this are giving birth to. Maybe the time they give birth to me, people like my dad, I have 29 of us, he definitely cannot take care of 29 children. It's impossible for you to care for 29 kids, cater for their education. How much do you have? You understand? And that's the kind of thing we're talking about. Now we are up to 100, the grandchildren. So you can imagine that kind of size. Then our parents were still farming. They were working hard to give us food. But today that the economy is this hard, look at what Nigeria is saying. We're just talking about labor. And the federal government battling. There's poverty in the land. And now you are giving birth to kids and we're giving this disease and we all pay deaf ear. Maybe this is even more dangerous than whatever we see now. Kidnapping will remain a self-fulfilling prophecy. Crime will remain a self-fulfilling prophecy. Disease will ravage us until we address this critical issue. The way we bring people into this world is too important. And I don't know how to preach it better.
But that
Uh,
IDP company is so annoying.
yes,
Honestly, if you go to IDP camps in Nigeria here, I know what I'm saying. Like anytime you go there, if you leave, you feel bad. You see how unkept these people are. You understand? You see the way that they are not properly fed, they are not looking good. So saying that they are
and
producing
then they
this,
can have babies like that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know how it's actually attracting these people that are doing this to them because they're not even looking well, they're not looking good. And this is what they keep on doing to produce more kids for who? Somebody that know that people are the one actually taking good care
Mary,
of them.
Mary, that is why I say I blame the women there, the mothers there. Now, no matter how you see, the IDP camps might actually have management, you know,
Yes.
who oversee things there. But we know that women are nation builders. Women can also destroy as well. We know that women, when they're somewhere, there's this confidence that comes when a woman is somewhere,
Yes.
when a woman is
A
around.
grown woman,
People
yes. A
tend to
mother.
know that things will be properly done. Men could be careless, but women are not like that. So we are expecting that as far we have women in that camp, so many of the elderly women, I mean not children,
I
they are
understand you.
supposed to be, keep talking, keep singing it. You do not applaud things like this. Like I said, the lady from Benue, that these are adults. She cannot actually, tell adults, you know, how to live their lives, what they should do, what time they should have sex or not. But they will keep talking because it's not making sense to anybody. I say no, at some point you have to tell them do not have sex again. Since they
Yes.
cannot control themselves, and since
Yes.
Yes.
they cannot, the government cannot provide a means for them to go back home because of insecurity. And maybe you should go and buy a trailer of condoms, or maybe you should look for
They're
a
not gonna
way.
use it, princess. They're not gonna use condom. These people don't even you must understand the level where people are talking. And like I said, this is not gonna be a comfortable thing they do, something they rush to do because they like I said, we wait to see how the camp look like. They don't have privacy. So when do they have time to use condom? All these things are things you got to consider. These are really product of oh god. It's dangerous. Like I can just imagine the amount of diseases being spread.
Yes, and now we'll talk about insecurity. We'll talk about food security. We'll talk about floodings. We'll talk about the economy of Nigeria right now.
Yes,
I
what we
bet you this is not the
have
right
now.
timing for this.
No, it's going to grow now. This business, two business are going to grow. This sales of parts, body parts, it's going to grow. Women in the camp, not only not our girls are not protected. What we say now is not even only women in the camp. Our poor girls are not protected enough to face the danger. We're talking of women in the camp. Actually, young girls around Nigeria, across Nigeria, they are being molested daily and having this kind of unwanted kids. You understand? They bring it to the world just because they are not being trained or they are not being kept for or because of poverty. You know that is I know many girls that go to school, they are in school, but they're the one taking care of their family. Where do
Yes,
they get that
exactly.
money?
And their mom will be collecting the money. Like you're in
Yes,
school taking care of your family, and your mother will not ask you what you're doing. You're so
no,
comfortable with it. All these things are
collecting the
because
money.
of poverty.
Poverty, you understand? So if that girl get pregnant, if anything happens to her, what are you going to say? If I tell you the story of a lady, I want to make a movie about her here in London. You understand? How she left Benway, Princess, you cry. You understand? The kind of thing she went through, and before she followed the white man down to Europe, it's a beautiful story. That should be made into a film. I was too. It was too depressing. I didn't want to do it. You understand? But she's stable now. She was happy to tell the story. You understand what she went through as a child. Imagine this is the kind of story we see on a daily basis. Grow out of serious poverty, but poverty does poverty really? That's a different now. The whole pastor scenario we're seeing in Nigeria. Sorry, again. Do they preach about this? Do they care about the immorality of all these things, or they just want the money too? Because I do know that most of our pastors in Italy, they don't care whether what the guests are doing. Just bring the money to the church. Bring the money to the church. Like the parents now. You bring the money to the church. That's what the pastors care.
It's
But let's
it's
take
it's,
a look
it's
at it.
very disturbing when we talk about parents. Some parents are even worse. And that is the same thing. A case study in my state where you see parents, you know very well this child is maybe 20, 18, 17. This child is not working, has never worked, has not been working. You see a child with a car worth 15 million, and you
Yes.
are dancing, you are applauding, and you see a child renting an apartment, a very big house for you with well furnished. You move into that house. I once in my church, in my mother's church, the last time I traveled, and so this family came for outing service. And the guy used to be my one of my elder brother's friend, and I'm like, this guy lost a wife. They said yes. The guy was so sad. I couldn't say anything. I just said, "Sir, I'm very sorry." I think then my mom was still around the last time I traveled before my mom passed. And so the man came to our house and we're trying to sympathize. The man was blaming the child, how the child rented apartment for them. She and the mother, they moved in. The moment they moved in, after 3 days, the wife just collapsed middle of the night. Stories and all that. I'm not yet to tell the story, but my question in all this, even people were blaming the child. Your son is into Yahoo. Your son is a ritual. I told the man, was your son working prior to the time you rented the apartment for you guys to move in? He said no. So, sir, why did you move in? Why did you not ask him? So
Exactly.
your child now all of a sudden that is 17 years is spending over 10 million in a period of 1 week, and you are not worried, you are not concerned. And all of a sudden your wife died, you are not waking up to this reality. I say, sir, you should be held responsible. You're,
Yes.
you're grieving fine, but you should be arrested,
Yes.
for misleading your child. And people were just looking at me, where is this one from? My mother was even saying, please, here is not Abuja, here is not this. I'm like, mommy, no, the truth is the truth. No, so the parents are the issues as well. If a parent can sell a child, you know how desperate some parents are. If a parent can sell their
Princess, how do
child
you
for
sell a
1 million,
child? What you just said now is a case of selling a child. If you allow your daughter, and I'm going to say this openly, if you allow your daughter to be your market days, your new boyfriend or your husband, your breadwinner, a daughter of 20 years old, 20 something years old, suffering, going on the street to go and bring money, you've just sold that child. If you don't stop that girl from doing it, that you don't need that kind of money, we're going to be survived. And funniest thing enough, princess, money is not that hard to make. Nigeria is a place. You gave me story of a young girl who went to youth service and used her Alawi money to become a big businesswoman today. So it's not true that you must always do all this rubbish to become something, but that is a parents. That is parenting. You understand? And the funniest thing, princess, the painful thing is that is the money that will last. This fast one, I've been there. It will not stay long. I don't know how to preach it enough.
I watched a clip yesterday. Chassis Noje was saying, Mr. Johnson was saying that, it's disheartening. It's saddening that they've turned the industry to something else where normally when they came into the industry they were making the money, in as much as the money was not much, but the credibility, the zeal for the job, the passion kept on, they kept growing. So it was actually from stage to stage. Not like today, somebody you don't even know, you've not seen their face in the industry, they tell you, oh, they are making so much money, they are buying homes, misleading the public, misleading the younger ones.
Yeah,
And now
princess, this is
somebody,
another thing. No, let's not go into Nollywood.
oh no, but these are some of the issues, sir. And somebody came, somebody was trying to respond to him. The person said that, people should actually, people are no longer making money. They are no longer living within their age frame. Right, for instance, you're within that age of 17 to 25 or 22. You feel like, oh, life has ended, my mates have made it so well, I'm not making anything. Now
And
you're
now
not
you
looking at your age, that at this age, this is what I'm supposed to be achieving, maybe education, maybe
Yeah.
something. So now they look at somebody in, some what somebody maybe 50, 50, 40 should be having. That is where their mindset is. They need all the houses at 20. What will you do with them, for crying out loud?
I'm going to write my autobiography to actually address this issue. Some of the mistake we made at the very tender age came out to hurt us at the end. Princess, quote me. Even Daddy Chris is a case study. When I was, if I had remained in Nigeria, I would have had a doctorate degree long years ago. But no, there was a need to run to Europe and people are making money. You understand? You cut even after first degree, you run away. You see, and when you come to Europe, it disorganizes you. Your structure, your life is disorganized. You're not facing the. Have you ever come to Europe? Oh, you guys are lucky, man. When we came to Europe in those days, we arrived in Belgium. We started as refugees, stupid talking. I can't count all of them, princess. Looking for a white woman to marry, to get a paper to stay here. You cannot go home. You know, some people stayed in this country for 14 years. They cannot go back to Nigeria because they don't have paper. And they're running around. They're still here in London as we speak. The reason we don't come home. So a lot, because you want to do it the fast way. There's always a genuine, there's always a way of doing things. And if you cut it, you are not God. God will show you, he will tell you this is not the way to do it. Princess, let's take a look at the papers. Because it's going to get emotional. And when I write my biography, I'm writing two books. I'm writing a book about my career, which is on teaching African cinema. But this one is important. That you can use your own case to tell people. So you're not looking for somebody, me. How can fast lane be the best way to do it? If fast, I can promise you this year, whole thing now will come and go. I have seen many things in my lifetime. In fact, somebody gave a distance in my village. Oh, if you close to my lifetime, my place where we came from, you will see the story clearly, princess. Now, at a point in time, when I was growing up, when we were in secondary school, there was this set of Hebrew was bringing sheep, fish, all this sand, this scumbia to my place, and so my Ogareki, where I grew up, is where the sheep will land. So the children will go. The job is there now. So when you join the dock workers union, you can then go and work. So I mean, those people dropping these things, and they get you pay some money. You can go and buy a bicycle and get married. Because of that, some children didn't go to school. You see the implication? Because they were earning money that they could get them to get a bicycle and get married to a fine girl. Guess what? The people that taught me in primary school were not from Ogara. They were from the other Urobo side. They were from Agodemono, all of them. They came from the other side because that side, they was not easy to sell the rubber. If you tap rubber, you know when you tap rubber, you have to make it into they call it into sheet first. Our own we could sell immediately and buy a bicycle and get married. So that quick money affected the lives of many in my place till tomorrow. And we didn't have teachers from my time from Ugara. So, and I can tell you now, even this current day of political dispensation, where all of them are getting political appointment, you see the life of these kids have been cut short because that fast lane. And in fact, the politicians are so evil right now to give you one stupid appointment, which is not going to take you anywhere, but to block your lifestyle. So life na jeje o, I cannot speak it now. If you not do life jeje, penalty day. Anyway, Prince, I think we should take a look at the papers today so that we can progress with it, because I'm sure some of the things we're talking about are going to be on the paper, on the dailies as well. I can see the punch already telling us about the whole challenges of food, fuel.
Okay, the punch. The big story on the punch is foods leads as import hits 12 trillion naira. And the rider says manufacturers import 1.5 trillion naira raw materials. Food imports gobs 921 billion naira. Nigeria gets 19 trillion naira forest from crude oil, solid mineral exports, and others. And you can find the story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And here we have another story that says states work on total electricity subsidy removal, new tariff, and that's on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. Marketers register with Dangote refinery ahead of loading, and that story is also on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. Minimum wage talks end today. Labour awaits Tinubu's note, and that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Reps to meet governors as Borno opposes state police, and that story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. And here we have another story that says local refinery may crash petrol price to 300 per liter, and this coming from modular refineries, and that story is on page 35 of the Punch newspaper. Here we have another story that says police students, 25 others abducted on Abuja Nasarawa Highway, and that story is on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. And here we have another story that says Democracy Day, federal government to hold parade, youth summit, and dinner, and that story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. And then we have another story that says European Union raises Schengen visa fee to €90, and that story is on page 36 of the Punch newspaper. Vandalism, federal government tightens security on third mainland bridge, and that story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. And these are all the stories you have this morning on the Punch.
Princess, you know what is so beautiful here? I want to see where this thing is working. Very simple story. You see, at the top, the headline is saying the fuel and the food import. All right, the federal government now import food, and that has, which is because of the high price in it. So the solution to it is to reduce the price of lower, maybe even remove import duties and let the food begin to flow in. And that is the strategy of the federal government. But Dangote, I want you to look at the story down. Local refinery may crash price of petrol to 300 naira. How is that done? Did we try to reduce did we increase the subsidy of fuel? Is that what I brought it down? No. Instead, the production of fuel within the country It's going to crash it. That is a good news. Maybe that is a lesson for our government. You don't fight a system by saying you want to fight price control. Oh, you must put it down today or you must reduce this. No, you produce your own. The price of food will go down today if the federal government of Nigeria make it a duty to say, let us all go into farming. Obasanjo is somebody I will remember. Obasanjo in those days, during it was Obasanjo time, they say Operation Feed the Nation. You guys were not born then. I was still a child. Nigeria came up with something called Operation Feed the Nation. Something that the country used to feed us. We all went into farming. What happened to that time? Where is Tinubu then and Tinubu now? Because Tinubu lived through the time. What happened to Operation Feed the Nation? Can we come back with Operation Feed the Nation to feed ourselves that we now spend this amount of money on food? Where now? Dangote has addressed us. See, Dangote is helping that. So if Dangote is doing that, can the federal government do 10? If Dangote can do 1, can Delta State government do 1? Princess, talk to me. Would it be so bad if the trouble in River State now, with the amount of oil they have, with the money they keep pumping, if they go into refineries, instead they're going to use money to park sand on the road and say the next thing you're going to see, they're constructing bridge. Sorry, President. Do you think former President Goodluck was in Delta State to come and commission something? Not a refinery. What is it? I bet you it's a bridge or a building.
I tell you the truth. The only story I've seen here, even though I'm not very happy with Dangote, his policies and some of the things talking about the cement and the rest. I think I love this story here that say local refinery may crash petrol price to 300.
That's the story of the day.
Yes,
that's the story of the day, my daughter. I'm so pleased. You understand? And it just shows that mathematically it is not impossible to reduce the price of things, but we cannot do it by continuing to import. We do it by producing our own. You understand? And Princess, imagine how many bags of tomatoes we're going to produce in 1 month. If Nigeria goes into tomatoes production today, or cassava, you can't get it wrong with cassava. We sell. Hey, come on, man! This is unbelievable.
My problem is that even if we cannot, even if right now, let's just talk about food. Even if we cannot export for, we cannot produce for other nations, can't we now feed ourselves?
Thank you.
We are not even talking about selling now. No. We're talking about us as a people. Look at this amount of children giving birth to, only in Benue. You give birth to this amount of children, how do you think they will feel? At the end of the day, we are talking about in Nigerians, we have the land, we have the manpower, we have the resources. Why can't we feed ourselves? Must we have to import food? And most of this food we're importing, do you even know how they were made? Let's talk about the health implication of these foods. A lot of this food that we eat, people just see and we buy, they import and we eat. Look at the father rice. Look at local rice.
Exactly.
Go to all these fancy restaurants in Abuja. Sometimes I used to go and eat. You will even be shocked. The father rice is so expensive. They put it inside this. I don't know if it's plantain leaf or that local African food. So why can we not feed ourselves? Why can we not look within? I don't even know why we're importing food. What kind of food is it that we don't have? Is it meat? Is it fish? Is it rice?
I don't know, Princess. God bless you. I cannot tell. Nigeria, we're killing ourselves because of cow. So we rear cow. Princess, you know what? I promise you, if you want to be rich in Nigeria now, and you create a ranch, and you rear cow, only the time for a cow to become matured, if you are patient, you become a billionaire. At least you become your first millionaire if you take 200 cows and you patiently begin to rear them. You grow them in your ranch. So how can a cow now is almost 800,000 or 600,000. Imagine times 200. How much have you got? What again? These are businesses available to us. It's not rocket science. Now, if the individual, you know what the government is going to say? An individual should do it. What are you government doing? That's the one I don't understand. There are businesses you leave for the state to run or for individuals to run. Healthcare in the UK is run by the by the government because it's too important. Food security is the problem of the government. They actually buy it from the farmers. If you see the relationship between farmers and food product and the UK government, you will be happy. You say, ah, come on now, this is not rocket science now.
Well, I am very disheartening that as of today, and look at the amount of children we're still having. Look at the amount of insecurity, a lot of children on the street, and then we're having this amount of money, on imports alone is worrisome. There's a story here as well that says. Yes, sir. Yeah, police students, 25 others adopted on Abuja Nasarawa Highway. Do you know that is the road I used to drive to school on daily basis? Let's say I was in Nigeria now, I would have maybe passed that route today, later today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. At some point, I just drive on my own, nobody in the car, just drive down, go to see something and come back. And so I'm quite it's quite disturbing, that as close as Nasarawa to Abuja, what am I saying? Even within Abuja, they are kidnapping. And most of these kidnappers will start demanding for money that outrageous amount that even these families has never seen in their lives before. So I'm thinking that Tinubu should not be worse than Buhari on insecurity.
Yes.
I
I
don't
pray so.
understand what's going
I pray
on.
so. I pray. I really pray, that we coming to an end. When I see, I'm happy. Punch, you done well today. Put that story in red. Punch have done it well today by putting it in red. We should be ashamed. It's an alert of the highest order. It's princess. You know what is it for a family to wake up from his house, or your daughter is going somewhere, your son is going somewhere, and is being kidnapped, and you are being called, hey, you must bring so amount of money. Is that a country?
It's sad.
No, for doing nothing, no, for just leaving your house. You didn't have fight with anybody, for just entering your car and going somewhere. And that is what we're talking about now, princess. It
I
was
said it the other day. Bandits can they not go to the elites? Don't they know how to make tama to Asokoro where these people live, even if the offenses are very high? No, there's a way you can still penetrate these people. They have kids, they have children, they have wives. In as much as we know that I've seen in Abuja, most of these politicians, you could see their children living wayward lifestyles. Go to the clubs or somewhere, you will see them, attack them. Don't come attack innocent people that have not even eaten. Some of these people now you've adopted, they've not eaten like since yesterday. They're actually hustling. You come from nowhere, you are angry. And so what if you're angry? Everybody's angry in Nigeria. Nobody's happy. Then you transfer your aggression, your anger on an innocent citizen student that is going to school or coming from school, putting their parents in panic. Where Tinubu is at Aso Rock dancing, and the son, of course, is everywhere from club to club in Abuja. It doesn't make sense.
And
It doesn't make
that's the
sense at
shameful
all.
thing. And you know what? Oh, Nigerians. Oh, Nigeria. I think we write a book and they continue to cry for Africa and we continue to cry for this country. The painful thing is we have all it takes, so yet we're not using it. And that's the shameful thing, President. There's nothing lacking in Nigeria. There is nothing God has not given to us, and there's nothing we don't lack. What is this? How can God give us everything and we lack everything? God is
So
looking
my
at us.
take now, there's this comment from Godwin Adu that says, how can we feed ourselves when they have intentionally sent herdsmen with their cows to destroy farmlands in the south and other parts of the north? And now, when you look at that story, then look what he's saying now. I want to marry it with one of the headline here that says, reps to meet governors as Boronu opposes state police.
Yes.
Now, I still want to believe that state police is something we can add our, local vigilantes. I don't know where we'll get there. Let it be a law that, we have, local, the indigenous locals are actually given that, power, to do things on their own. We've seen it before that federal government is not coming to the aid. For instance, I'm from Delta, where farmers have been displaced from their farms. They cannot access their farms. They cannot go close to their crops, in the name of headers, or whoever they are. And so I'm thinking that by the time the indigenous people are given the power to protect themselves, at least we know that this is my territory. If I say come in, you come in. If I say don't come in, you don't come in. And then we
Princess,
will
but
not have this
do you
issue.
think state police is giving power to the people is different from state police? With the attitude of the governors, with the attitude of Nigerian governors, I have been fighting. I was the first to cry for state police. Now I've withdrawn my statement. With the
No, no, no.
attitude,
I'm
with
not.
the
I'm not. I'm not talking about. We know state police. They will actually be under the governor, so the governor
yes,
can manipulate, use them as they like.
okay.
Of course, to start carrying umbrellas, handbags, or to start
That's what they're
serving
gonna
them.
do. That's what they're
But
gonna do.
I'm just saying that we should, now that we're talking about state police, we should also consider, empowering. We
Maybe
saw
yes,
the
our
other day
vigilante. Maybe they're enforcing local
vigilantes.
vigilantes.
We saw
Princess,
the
I just
other day
want to
Amatekun. We saw their vehicles, over
exactly. No,
20
in
healers.
fact, you know what I
These were
want to say,
actually
Princess?
empowered by the
Let the
state government
local
and
government, let the
individuals.
local government chairman be responsible for security of his local government. You don't cross my local government. If you come there to misbehave, we'll get you down. So if the local government are not responsible and the locals know that he is responsible, he's close to them, they will attack him. You understand? We can beat our local government chairman up.
Yes, and that
Let
is what I'm
give
saying.
up.
By the time we know who is who,
Yes.
see, don't be surprised. I've been in Ugeli, for instance, where we had the Bakassi den way back. Let me tell you the truth. These people know who is who. These guys. Forget the place is big, people are many. They know. When they see you, they know. And so there was this kind of sanity that Bakassi, the fear of Bakassi. So people started doing what is right. You will not
Yes.
deliberately do things that are not right. Look at Onitsha there. And so I think it is high. This is the only way out. Because government has failed. They will continue to fail, because you can see that even at the national level, National Assembly, lawmakers, they've never seen that to talk about insecurity as pressing as this issue is. They are talking about national items, they are talking about creating more state, they are talking other things. They don't care about insecurity. This is because their wives and their children will never ply the roads. Their wives and their children are mostly out of the country. And these people as well, how many times will they, even if they ply the road, they have so many securities. And so they do not understand the importance, of life and properties. These people, their fences are very high. They have all the bodyguards. Imagine one lawmakers having over, even sometimes when they travel, having over. I told you the other day, I was flying from Abuja, Asaba to Abuja. You could see the numbers of, bodyguard following Chris Igege. For what? I was just saying. Now you pay flights for all these people, the expense of expenses of government. And so these are the things that decrease. I think at this point, all of us should be saying vigilante,
Yes.
our own, the locals.
Our own local vigilante, the one we
They
can say, the
should
one
be
that can touch our
empowered.
life.
They
Yes.
should go into our farms. Every community
In
should
fact,
surrender
the
its
kings,
own.
the so-called kings, you want to carry king title, you have a responsibility to protect us. You understand? You must work. In fact, the local government and the kings should not be sitting down in one place and plan our security. Otherwise, we push them out of the palace and their places. We need to be harsh on them. We're not going to sit down and allow ourselves, our kids to be kidnapped. You cannot call yourself a king and things are happening. You don't call yourself a local government and they're kidnapping us. Will we attack you first? You are the one we know. You understand? Preacher, I think that is a way forward. I agree. I completely agree. And just as we move on to this, today is, there's a very, you guys will not be aware of this, Many of you here were kids when this story happened. Sometime in 1992, June 12th, June 12th, June 12th. You understand? Was a historic election in Nigeria, and that's why the June 12th is around the corner. Abiola died in the course of the struggle. You understand? And another June 12th is coming. I can't wait to see how the federal government want to immortalize this, how they want to learn from the history, make good use of it, because something bad that happened to you, you can turn it to good. Jesus Christ died, but he became a blessing to the world. He was killed, right? But Jesus killing, the death of Jesus is what brought redemption to mankind for those of us that believe. So why don't we really try and make good use of June 12th? And what did June 12th tell us? That's something we've not learned today. And perhaps that man sitting in Aso Rock now should ask himself if he has any reason to celebrate June 12th. So you can only celebrate June 12th if you really won the election. Because the essence of June 12th was somebody won an election and the election was void. By Babangida. Babangida is still alive. Oh. You understand? He's still alive. But I guess now, look at Babangida, he's no more strong. He's wasted now. Those are the things we do. Now, Babangida will be alive to see people celebrating June 12th, something he annulled. It's good for him to live very long. Incapacitated and see it happening in his time. Do you understand? This is Abiola won election, the first free and fair election that we ever saw in Nigeria. In my time, the man was never allowed to rule. Eventually died. He was killed, we know that. June 12th is the day we used to remember that. For those children who don't know what happened, it was a time we all cry for. But perhaps what we should be thinking of today is now that June 12th is around the corner, have we remodeled our electoral system? Are we going to have an election that is similar to the one we just had before? That is the most important lesson from June 12th. You know the headline, why it disturbed me, Princess. He said, look at the story and look at the way they said they're going to do it. That Democracy Day, to hold parade, youth summit, dinner. Is that how we celebrate Jesus Christ, the death of Jesus? Unmute yourself, Princess.
Yes, that is what they do in Nigeria. They hold parades up and down, march. I don't know what that signifies, but
In fact, INEC to be called to listen. You understand? INEC to be the one talking to us. The lesson from June 12th, it is going to start from INEC, Princess. Because it was the inability of an electoral process to be honored and done well that led to the annulment of that election. Though the military were there, they annulled it, they declared Abiola the winner. You understand? But today said they will not even declare the right person the winner. Are we going forward or going backward? It's a question our children will ask us tomorrow. June 12th is a time to reflect on that. Not the time for parades, sir. Not the time for lousy youth summit. The youth are even now, they've indoctrinated them. The Nigerian youth are worse now than even the elders. Unfortunately, because they are in poor. I'm going to blame the youth too. Till tomorrow, I will never blame the youth. You know why? It is what, you see, Princess, as I was growing up, it's what my father said that I always remember today. My father said this, my father said this, my father said this. So it is a child will only learn from us. All I'm saying today is from my grandfather and my father. That's what they taught me. Whatever the kids, the young people are doing today is what we taught them. Princess, you know what we say now? The young girls, you said something today, the mothers in the camp, what are they doing? Because in those days, when old woman they compound, when you get girlfriend there, whether you go, in fact, to go, now the old woman you they fear pass. Because the girl don't pass. You understand? You know the kind runs. You go there, you know that I will carry stone, take stone, take for the end, so then the guy don't say you there around. So you go pass, come. Now the old woman now with the dodge. Where are they?
The system has changed though. It's not like that anymore.
Very. If you see our time, the what's it that the day, that woman, because now mother, you say mother. Oh God, no. Anyway, we pray that.
I don't know, maybe because like we said about parents of nowadays, most of them, they are concerned about different things. They don't have the interest of their children. If not, if you have the interest of your child, you will not sell a child. You will not sit at home, watch them go astray, and you do nothing. And so these are some of the issues. And as well, you will not be happy seeing your child going on a path that at the end is destruction, and you are applauding it, or maybe you are happy, or maybe you are just there because of the money you see. And so we, even though we are blaming government in some of these things, we already said it earlier that we have to hold parents accountable as well.
Yes.
you know
Yeah.
Our parent, even my late mom, she used to be very observant then. Maybe she's outside or something, a guy is pacing around the street. My mother will look at you critically because this one, a guy is pacing around my gate.
Uh,
No
what
problem.
did they look for?
As in, I remember then we used to have a coconut tree in front of my fence, and the guy was there. Oh, if you see my mother coming, the guy would just throw as if he's making call with straw and come back. My mother said, "There's somebody at that place. Do you know that man? Do you know that guy?"
Uh,
Because my mother already just add 1+1 and
of
on the
course.
school that this one that is pacing around front of my house. I have a daughter here. I don't want issues. And even
Exactly.
though I say, "Mommy, no, I don't," oh, we know saying a lie, but even she knows I'm lying. But of
Uh,
course, you cannot say it to her face. And so I think that our parents, we need to do more. I said it on the show the other day, you were not around. It's not about giving birth to children. No. It's about, responsibilities. It's way above just having a child. It's way above just putting the child in school. Will you be there for them? Will you
no,
be there
Princess,
for
so
the
I don't know
children?
about you guys. Your time now, you guys are these, you guys are born at home. You understand? We're born into the streets. When we grow up when we wake up in the morning, then we wake up outside. Now, I know you children wake up inside the flat. When we wake up in our village, you wake up in the morning and the first thing you are out. Once you wake up, you don't run outside because the outside is the playground. Today, the playground is inside. And guess what? If you do anything, it's not your parents that will see you. If that your uncle catch you for road or that your street person see you for road, what that person will do to you before your parents will, before you, in fact, you pray make he finish the matter with you. Because he go finish with you, the kind every knock beating when you will get from him alone. Then before they report you to your parents, then they cause, in fact,
Let me tell you what happened. I think when I was in SS1 or 2, so my parents thought that I should go and write because then I used to be very brilliant. I should go and write why they just want to try my ability to see if I could pass. So I was enrolled in, and then apparently there's this very big lady also in my street that was writing. So I was actually handed over to her to go and be writing. We'll go and we'll come. And somebody gave me a flower, a card, or something, cake. Then I just dropped it, and she saw it, and she came home. She told my brother that was the end of that exam. I never went back there. And what they did to that
yes,
guy,
in that
the
matter.
warning and all that was the end of it. I only
Yes,
wrote 2 papers then. That was the
yes.
end of it.
Stupid.
Ha! Oh my
That was
God.
Because
the end of
You are
it.
strong. Oh.
I said that was the end of it.
that was it.
Until today, that guy is not happy. He will always hold that lady, that is responsible for whatever happened. The tension were pure, not like he wanted to molest me and all that. He was impressed that this young girl is writing and is wife and all that. Anyway,
What
our
if they
parents need
buy
to
you?
do more.
What will not be only pure intention?
I'm
What
not
if they
gonna
buy
be
flower
enough
for?
for that.
It's just serious. They joke. I'm only pure intention. Hey, get out. You see, they don't beat a rich. They don't beat a rich. That's how you see. You cannot again. This is what we call protection. You understand? The society protects you. Family protects you. A child, especially a girl child of 13, 14 years old, is a bad age. They need protection. I'm sorry, but that is the truth. You need protection, and that's what parents, mothers know this. Only mothers can do this. And that's why we the dad, they don't bring that into our table because we'll break somebody's head. So it's the mother that will shade, will protect, that will protect the daughter. She understand the game. That's why anything happen, that the mama will they call. You see what's happening to your daughter when my father will start. Then your daughter, you understand? You're not being picking again, no. Now the woman daughter. That's it, because you are supposed to take responsibility. And we pray that we come back to that beautiful society where we care for one another. Because this one,
Anyway, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the reviews, and our guests will be joining us all the way from Benue. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. Ooh la la! The second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of arts and culture, entertainment, business, and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion, and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5 OAY. Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at everbright.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come and experience a nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Wake Up Nigeria. Today is Monday, the 10th of June 2024, and we're doing what we do best. We're taking a look at the Nigerian newspapers. I see one newspaper that is interesting me about the debt scenario, which is the Daily Times. I know we're going to have time to look at all that while we're expecting the guest. Princess, I actually want to know what that story is all about. I want us to quickly take a look. If we can just take only the headline of the Daily Times before we do something else. I just take a look at it briefly. They're saying that no cause for alarm over Nigerian debt profile.
How can there be no cause for alarm?
Like I said, I think they are almost right. If the money borrowed and used to now grow agriculture, if we borrow money to go into farming, will you be angry? No, nobody will be complaining. Meaning we're going to pay the money back.
They are borrowing money to pay salaries, that increase. They are borrowing money to pay salaries. They are borrowing money to expensive trees.
Princess, let's say something to say. IMF is our enemy. IMF is our enemy. How could you borrow somebody money to pay salary? How can IMF or the World Bank be borrowing our government money to pay salaries? If you see, you don't give money to people like that, you give them, at the end, you begin to tell them to devalue their currency. That is evil. What they should be borrowing us money to do, like I said, they should be giving us voucher. Now, I said the federal government should be giving state voucher, not giving them cash to go and marry new wives. Because if you see this, Princess, if they give Delta State voucher, or maybe every local government, a voucher of 4 billion to go into farming in Nigeria, in the next few months, Princess, there will be too much food. If they give them voucher now, not cash, or if they give them cash, they will be in abroad the next day. But let it be given to them in voucher. So if anybody want to give us loan, not cash, give us voucher. What that means is, what do you want to use the money to buy? We will provide you the stuff. So that you use the thing to produce and pay us our money. Anybody that borrowed Nigerian money, when I finally become president, I'm not going to pay now. I don't tell them. Because when I eventually become president, I will not pay. I will ask you, what did you give the money for? If you are an irresponsible lender, you will be punished for it. If IMF remain irresponsible, they will be punished. But if the money is put to good use, Princess, then we'll be able to pay back. Everybody wants to. I'm looking for money to take as loan. But I want to take the loan to a productivity. Anyway, it's like our guest is going to join us soon. So I think it is very important we get that part of the story. So they don't think we are against borrowing money. We want you to borrow money. But what are you borrowing money for? Money for Tinubu? Delta State government could not borrow money to build a refinery. Dangote was able to borrow money to build a refinery. Dangote is thinking right. You think all the money Dangote is using is all his money? No. The life of a businessman is hope. If you can attract loan, then you are rich. But at the end, Dangote have a refinery. That's a legacy nobody can talk about. And now, if it's going to happen well, Dangote might be the one to save us from the fuel crisis. Dangote, why you not even go into food? You'll be a bad person too. As you they import sugar since they do all this one since. I go talk before now, let me finish. As Dangote, they import sugar, they import rice. Why you never start to produce rice for Nigeria? But we'll talk another matter. The guy don't go. Okay. You understand, Princess? Let's why we thanking Dangote for the good job done? Why is Dangote not the one to produce rice? Since he get that good mind, that large heart to do into refinery, why never try out with rice? Cement when they produce, Dangote cement when they produce will not buy it. You say na fuel, then you go reduce the price. You never reduce the price of cement. Anyway, make we still say you see they produce rice. At the end of the day, it's still better. Say Dangote, they try. Princess, what about the rest? In fact, Nigerian government sometimes they leave una make the people that for prison. Those of una they spray money, una never feel use the money to produce something for the country. They need to go to prison. Some of them need to if they spray the naira anyhow, may they really go to prison. Sometimes I was against it, but why be saying you not use your money to do something productive on earth? Why did God create you? You come shit God.
I just think that people know what to do. Like I guess the others say, if they are not all mad, they actually know what to do. They just don't want to do it.
Yes, guy. Good question. Are we not mad? Anyway,
Yes.
we can take a look at
Let's
Vanguard.
go quickly to, yes, other papers we have. And there is one story I saw. I'm trying to get the paper now. But while we do Vanguard, just go ahead. I'll look for that story.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
take
big story on the Vanguard. Experts sees dangers around minimum wage battle. And the writer says President Nas will determine our next action. It's coming from Labour. Alleges conspiracy between governors, OPS. ITUC writes Akpabio for labeling strike as act of economic sabotage. Governors, senators, reps should also earn 62,000 naira minimum wage, coming from Mbaka. And that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And they will have another story that says airfares prices skyrocket, distorts travel plans. And that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. How Jonathan's wife orders first weekend on reverse. This coming from Clark. And that story is on page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. How our agric revolution is delivering dividends by Governor Makinde. And that story is on page 14.
Yeah, I think you should wait a little there, Princess. Do you know that in terms of, I think Oyo State is leading in agriculture. I don't know about others, you understand? But I can see the pictures coming from Oyo. Even though I don't agree with the governor not doing his own part, because there should be Oyo Gari now, Oyo rice, you understand? These are the kind of, because you have a brand. The state is a beautiful brand that we can use. We can bank on seriously. But I don't know why we are not taking advantage of it. You understand? And I think our governor should do more. But Oyo, in any case, Oyo is doing better in agriculture. You say sometimes you see these large acres. I mean, we're talking of acres of land. Princess, if Oyo can do that, why can't the rest of the state be doing that? Makinde just said something now, meaning Makinde is contributing to food production. I'm not satisfied though. Because Oyo is a vast land that if in fact that can be improved upon, but that is a start. Have you seen other states like this? The answer is big no. Even when the federal government gave Okowa and the 14 state money to produce palm oil, Princess, where are they? They use the money to build hotels. The money was made for the, in fact, that plan alone, that would have produced minimum of 3,000 billionaires in Delta State.
I'm telling you that, Chris, that there is no state in Nigeria, there is no single state, as far to the lowest, that cannot produce. You know why? Even if they don't have land, they have natural resources. Even if they don't have that, they have manpower. They
Yes.
have, what it takes to produce at least something, reasonable for the state. But the governors will always rely on allocations. You can already say that they cannot meet up to minimum wage of 62,000 because they don't have any money, except federal government want them to pay with allocations or to borrow to pay salaries. That means they are not thinking towards production. Somebody like Bago that was in that meeting opening his mouth to say such a thing, you should know that these people are shameless.
Yeah.
That at a whole state you cannot come up with something. So what do you employ these people for? What do you have commissioners for? What do you have local government chairman for? They do not think. They come and they say what in the state house and they go. They are supposed to think. They are supposed to say, okay, This is what we can do to raise money, to make money for each state, at least to enable you pay workers, to enable you know that you are not eating alone, you are producing as well. Anyway, we have our guest here. We'll go back to that story, but we have here, I don't know what's wrong with his network this morning. He's from Benue and he's supposed to be briefing us on the issues we're having at the IDP camps. And this is somebody that is very close to them, but I don't know why we're having I think that he said the rain is raining heavily where he is, so he's struggling with the network. But let's hope that he will be able to join us because he is the executive director of Bemkek Selis Care Foundation. What they do is they care for these IDPs, and most time they give relief materials to them. That's why I wanted to actually bring him on the show, because he's somebody that is very close to
Yes.
these people.
Yeah, I think the young man is with us. Hello.
Can you unmute your sound, please?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. And we agree that you should place your phone somewhere. You can't hold the phone because you will not be stable.
I'm in a public space. I just needed to get a place I will get on the interview.
Just maybe we could do it next time because the noise coming from there and you are not stable as well is going to disrupt our broadcast.
Okay, that will be fine because I'm on my way to one village. We need to get some statistics there.
All right.
Okay, that will be okay. What you just need to do for us, get us some footages, some pictures, and the statistics. So maybe tomorrow you will be more stable to come on the show.
All right, fine. That was good.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. That was Foga. He is the, like I said, the director of Bone Care Service Care Foundation. Like they go from IDP to IDP, giving relief materials. And the owner is actually presently here at the UK right now. She was the one that told me about him. And let's see what we can do, what he can do for us as well. Maybe, like he said, we're going to get the statistics, and of course, we're going to know what's actually happening there and why we're having situations like that. We appreciate him as well. Now, let's go back to some of our trending news stories before we call off the show. There's a story here, Mary. I don't know if you can go to to the Guardian rather. I have a disturbing story from the Guardian that says, yes, the last story here on the Guardian that says Kano declares emergency on education, says 4.7 million people sit on bare floor.
The two.
Talking about, how do we what do we make of this that decrease when children, how can they learn? How can they be okay?
Princess, the funny enough, this coincide with the Senate Committee on the Universal Basic Education having a beautiful meeting in Lagos this weekend, and the Lagos State Governor was addressing them through the Secretary of the State Government, telling them the importance of the Universal Basic Education. Sometimes, yeah, we don't understand how important education is, especially the basic one. The first one is the foundation. The first one is the foundation. When a child is in the formation stage, it's like a child is born. There's a documentary which I shared, which I showed a lot in the UK. That we are born into a culture. We are not born with a culture. Let me say that. You born a child into a culture. A child is never born with a culture. A child born is like a blank slate. It's like a computer you just buy. There's nothing in it. Then you begin to feed the computer. Then you begin to go back and look for whatever you put inside the computer. That's how important it is. So a child that is born, the brain is still very fresh. So everything can go. My brain now can no more take a lot because it's filled up already. You imagine since I was born 57 years ago, things have been pumping into my system. It's tired. But a new child takes in every information, and that is the right time to build a good child. You see, princess, that's the right time to build a human being. Because if you just buy a new computer and you begin to save things in there, you know how well the computer saves it. It's always perfect. It's beautiful. That is how you see a child. And now when we get it wrong at that early stage, that is a total loss. You can't fix that computer anymore. A lot of wrong things have been feed into the computer, maybe viruses, infection, everything is there. A child must be protected. The education of a child from the beginning, from mother, primary education is key. And so if you think of that analysis well, know that the universal basic education in Nigeria, in fact, we should be in prison. We should all be in prison. And that boils down to people having children when they're not supposed to have, and government taking responsibility. Goodluck Jonathan did try by taking their majority, what they call those children in the north, that they tell them how can those people should be in prison.
Because I'm wondering now is rainy season, the grounds are very cold, and most of these classroom, could be tile or cement, plastering, and then a child will sit on the floor. Let's talk about the health implication of this.
You're not talking. Are you not talking of the rain? They're studying about the rain.
And so it's disturbing, it's so worrisome to know that children are actually going through this in a country like Nigeria in this 2024. It's
A rich country
disturbing.
like ours. That's the most important thing, princess. We are rich.
It's disturbing. And then we have this story also in that is coming from the Nigerian Tribune. There's a quite a story from the Nigerian Tribune over the open grazing. This is coming from Macy Allah and of course the Huanese. Some are fans, some for a guest. But there's a story here that says Amotekun commander wants outfit upgraded to state police. Daddy Chris, I want to recall your mind to what we just discussed a while ago. Now, when you look at that story, now the commander is saying they should be upgraded to state police.
Good.
In the sense that Amotekun, they are restricted what they should do, what they should not do. It's funny how local vigilantes can maybe penetrate where ordinary security agency cannot penetrate, and you still want them to hand over these people to you because
Yes.
you are the professional security
You are the
people.
authorized. That's the only thing. You are the authorized. It's authority that is talking. It's not as if you are
Yes.
more effective.
And at the end of the day, these people are released. You won't even know how they were released. You don't even know what happened to them. They just go scot-free because they would have paid or something would have happened. And so that is why I said every state should have their own and should put eyes on their own. Anyway, yes, we
But I
move
saw a
on.
story that says soldiers killing. Army raids IPOB's camp in Abia, Q6. Wow. I'm not surprised though. I know they will definitely revenge.
Yes, we know that I said it before that they are going to face innocent people, and we should pray that innocent people do not suffer for this. We said it before, and it's disturbing to know that now that they are not reading. I just hope that innocent people are not being killed. Let's not come and see another Okoma scenario where innocent people were actually killed. They should go after the killers and look for them, not terrorizing citizens or people that have no hand in this.
That's true.
And there's another one here apart from the cost of transportation, costing surge of commodity prices and others we've seen before. We've seen a lot of stories here, and we see Atiku tackles Shetima over claim on enjoying Tinubu's goodwill. We know that I said it before that when they start talking, when they start tackling the government, it doesn't mean that you are not able to become a governor, a president. You should be quiet. You must look into the economy critically not just to bring down the person, but to, sometimes when you tackle them, they tend to do what is right as well. The fear of opposition will make them to sit up
No,
to
no,
do what
that's
they.
what we need, princess. That's what we need. We expect that Obi and Atiku, we've seen Obi in places. Obi has already been visiting places. We see him doing his normal corporate social responsibility. Atiku is left behind. You understand? Maybe he's back in Dubai, but now Baba is trying to be in the scene by actually making one or two statements. I'm going to encourage him to do more of that. You understand? Make a statement. The country is dying. What are you doing, leaders? You don't have to be in power to lead. It's exactly what I was keep saying. People that actually make changes. Today, Princess, I was reading something as I was reading this thing. Said Bartholomew, the one you read in your Catholic thing, said Bartholomew. No. Do you know the man is the one that constituted the UK charity we are talking about today? The whole charity we are talking, charity in the world. We're going to do a documentary on it. I'm going to compare the charity he created from the church to what the churches are doing today. The reason today churches are not made to pay taxes is because of what St. Bartholomew did. That is a leader that led a system of health into where we are now. He was not a government. He was actually a Catholic priest. You understand? I don't know whether it's Catholic or not. You understand? I want to read the story correct. But St. Bartholomew, go and read it. You understand? And today we call it the St. Bart. B-A-R-T is what they use it commonly. Very interesting story. I'm going to finish it. I'm just trying to follow it here.
And there's a story here on the Daily Trust. War on Gaza. Nigerian backs Biden ceasefire proposal. I don't think Nigeria have a say in this. They should rather focus within. We have too many problems. That we have insecurities. We have crisis, war. Communal crisis, war, tribal issues. We have issues, insecurity, and now we're having this open grazing issue. We have too many in our hands for any Nigerian, being the president, the lawmakers, or whosoever expert to come and dabble into, Biden ceasefire issue. They should focus on Nigeria and let's see how Nigeria will work, and don't come and cause problem for us where there is no problem. Anyway, we
Where
move
is
on.
that story, princess?
Sorry,
Where is the story?
that story is on the Daily Trust newspaper. That's one of the stories we have on the Daily Trust.
On Daily Trust. Okay, good. I was looking for it. Okay. You see, this is quite interesting. I bet spend 2 minutes here. He said governors spent billions on car for lawmakers. Let's not go to that. We know that before. You see? Anytime you see Nigerian governor on the news, it's always for the wrong reasons. May God save us. But I don't know what the Nigerian government won't go do. Won't go interfere with foreign affairs. Our foreign policy should be economical. We will buy from those who buy from us. I will sell to those who sell to us. That's a simple thing. We don't have anything. We are not part of the economic war. We are not part of the war. People, they kill each other. They not consign us. The NATO and the other ally, they can protect the world. We are free from that for now. Because we don't have power. We are nowhere. Our own should be economic. Oh God, princess. You see what I'm even saying there? I can't propose enough economic policy for Nigeria. Until the whole of Africa come together and form a nation, we could not have a say. We will never have a say in the world politics. So let us keep quiet. The economy of California is bigger than if you put the whole of West Africa put together. Only one state in America, and you are talking. Are you a country? You don't have it. If America throw one bomb, now everybody go wrong. But if we had come together and formed the United States of Africa, one currency, princess, you know why it's still so painful? It's not rocket science. So in my lifetime, I've been in Europe before they formed the European Union. In fact, when I was in Europe in 1992, there was nothing like Shege. It was after 1992 when I came back to 1994, they came with Benelux. And now the European Union came on board. And now, as at that time, the Belgian money, all this money were rubbish. Today, they now come together and they're using only one currency called euros. Euro is now higher than the US dollars. You see the power when they come together. If Africa come together today and we have one currency called Afro, the Afro would be higher than the pounds. And here we're saying we're going to have Naira. What is Naira? Where can you take Naira to? Where can you take Ghana cedis to? So we need to come together. Our economic policy, in fact, our foreign policy in Africa should be, we will not buy from you if you don't buy from us. We will not use your car if you don't manufacture it in Africa. Today, for the talk with one big language, because you know the advantage, Princess. We have a population of 1 billion. Everybody wants to tap into that population. But then you have a force. Oh God, the power of unity as displayed in the Bible. God was threatened. Africa need to come together. Not this rubbish we are doing now. Nigeria should shut up when it comes to foreign affairs. They should shut up. We don't have. Unfortunately, we don't. Princess, what is this? Are these all this chicken? And I'm seeing these beautiful pictures.
Is Ram ahead of Salah? People are complaining. As of yesterday, Friday rather, we saw that RAM is now amounting to 1 million. I don't know. I'm supposed to buy a RAM for 700, 500, even 1 million. I don't see the need for that. I'd rather go and buy, boil egg and do it and celebrate. I can't spoil. Not like I want to spoil their salad, but 1 million naira. How many households can even afford that? That is the thing. Anyway,
if those people that could go to Mecca and come back, they cannot afford RAM. Princess, what do you concern you?
Anyway, let's quickly go to the sport because of time. Mary, what's happening? Let's go to the sports world. There's a headline here that says 2026 World Cup qualifier, Benin versus Nigeria. Eagles, beware of these Nigerians.
Okay, that's the big story.
Yes, that is the big story. And what is happening? Nigerians have been very sad with our new indigenous, let me use the word indigenous coach. Maybe you people should take it easy
funny enough, these players these Nigerian players that you're seeing here, I think this one on white, his name is Olaitan. I think they were playing for Benin Republic before they now, like this person actually now got a club in France. So now I think they are coming back to play for the Eagles. So, but talking about beware of these Nigerians, it's for the fact that sometimes, our Nigerians, we play for all these countries. But when we come back again to play for the Nigerians. And in another part, the Nigerians, the people, we are not even helping the players. We tend to criticize them with just the words of our mouth. We tend to insult them even on the media and all of that. Like the first match that they played, it's not like we lost. Although that the coach says is a lose because of
it's a loss.
Yes,
it's a loss.
Because it's a home, right? Because it's our home.
Yes.
But they have already given up on the whole thing. It looks as if we are never going to make it to qualify for.
Maybe we were expecting at least to win South Africa 1-0. We were at home. We had the players with Finidi. It wasn't different from the dead coach that left us. And one keep wondering what is going on. And well, I don't know about what these new Nigerians. I know we have the best players to win any competition. These young boys are capable. If they're given the right energy, the right, sometimes, Princess, you cannot, like I said to myself, my problem is still one thing, and I didn't watch the last match, and I'm waiting for that playmaker.
Yes.
Until we have a playmaker, it's always difficult for a team to survive without a playmaker. You need somebody. You see the last game we played there, nobody was holding the ball. That was why when it was like shoot and attack, either we are in the defense or we are in attack. You understand? There was no midfield play. And that number 10 is what we are missing. Only Osimhen was the hope. That's stupidity. You need a number 10 to support Osimhen. And that was what we lack. In those days, the only reason Yekini was successful was because of Amokachi. In fact, all the finishers were successful because of Daniel Amokachi was there. Okocha was dribbling in the middle of the pitch. So that was a team. If you don't have that, what can you do? What can you do? What can the finisher do? What can Osimhen do? What can Boniface do? And that is the thing I'm asking if you need it to tomorrow. I don't know. Sports analysts will do that, but they will come to what I'm saying now. If you look at that's why the problem we have with the UK team. The UK team had it all, but what they were lacking was that finish. Was that person who played the midfield? That was what this young boy was doing for us here, for playing for UK. Anyway, we will come to
Anyway,
that.
there's a story here also, Mary, that says Onuachu confident Eagles can beat Benin. They are talking now. Tomorrow we'll come and see
If they
something.
not
They
beat
should keep
Benin, they
quiet.
not go. They not come back. If they not beat Benin, in fact, we go disown them. How
The
can we
thing
not beat Benin Republic?
the thing is, you see most Nigerian players, they'll start from Benin Republic before they even pick them to other countries. Me,
No, but
I doubt. I
princess,
want to try to see
princess,
that
bet me. Finish, you go
Nigerian
lost
players.
job. Finish, you go lost job. You go lose the job immediately if you not beat Benin. Whether they pass Benin Republic, they go.
I think the last coach was actually advising Finidi about the Eagles. I think he's advising him, but let's see, because I know that right
The
now,
the foreign coach.
yes, he's advising him on how to handle the Eagles, making it look like
Wow.
difficult to handle the Eagles. But at the end of the day, it's not even the fault of the players. I don't think it's the fault of the players. I know that in the Nigerian system, it looks as if it's when you have money, you have the connection. That is when this you can actually take people, you understand, to this higher part when it comes to football. But why not? Let's start looking for talent, people that have this raw talent when it comes to football. Just like what Daddy Chris say, we cannot put all our hope on Osimhen. So what if Osimhen is not there? Which other person can replace Osimhen? So we don't have a replacement for Osimhen. We cannot just rely
Boniface is there.
on
No, Mary, it's a lie. Boniface is a good finisher. Osimhen is a good finisher. What we need is somebody to support them. They will not do any magic if we don't have number 10. That's the thing
But
I
we
keep
need
saying.
more. But we need more of them. We cannot just
Yes,
be playing with only these two people. We need more.
thank you. I don't
Because
know.
let me tell you, the man they overwork.
I
If
don't
you
understand
put
about
people
these
for
people.
if you allow people to continue to play a particular match, like let me say they're supposed to rest for a particular time and they're playing over. Let me say they're supposed to play like maybe 5 matches so that they can have a proper rest. And you're
Yeah.
giving them like 10 matches to play. They cannot perform now. These people will underperform. So
One
Mary,
of them,
Mary,
we
Mary,
know that
Mary,
one of them did complain last
Mary,
week
sorry,
that the time
sorry,
they are
sorry, princess.
supposed
Let me
to
say
rest,
this.
they are playing
Princess,
different matches within a
I
week.
want
Is that
princess,
yes,
oh,
they will underperform that
princess,
they will.
princess, princess and Mary. I want you people
Yeah.
to remember. Just look at the JC of the top players in the world. Zinedine Zidane, number 10. Okocha, number 10. Maradona, number 10. Pele, number 10. Ronaldinho, more than see the Josie when they were number 10. You know the importance of number 10? That's something Nigeria need to ask. Not the finisher. Not then they score the goals. Messi, number 10. Go and look at the importance of those players on the pitch. Nigeria don't have a number 10. Return,
Anyway, that would be a good place to wrap up the show. We do hope that our Super Eagles will not disappoint us when they meet Benin. We don't want to hear that. It will be too early. That should be a
Princess, don't worry.
walkover.
You don't want to. Princess, not the people they watch match before, so we don't go. Don't
But
worry.
I know that we just want to wrap up the show, but how can our Nigerian player, you understand, play for Benin Republic against the Super
I don't
Eagles?
understand.
Now live in the Republic. How many
Yes,
Nigerian players
you
they play
see
for him
now,
now?
even till
Bukola
now,
Saraki,
Nigerians
Bukola Saraki,
to be of Iceland. The Iceland, they are the Benin Republic.
Bukola
But we
not
still
be
have
Nigeria.
Nigerian players are still in
Mary,
Benin Republic. And
Mary,
they play
Bukola not
because
be Nigeria.
yes,
Bukola
we
not be
have them.
Nigerian pikin.
Even in Benin Republic right now, I don't know, they might still fix them. You will see our Nigerian people still playing for them against the Super Eagles. And when you talk, they tell you it is where they're getting
You
their
don't
money.
understand, Mary. Maybe they have a dual citizenship. Maybe they've been there all their lives. Maybe they've lived there. It's just like when you have been a part of people for a long time, you become one of them. So I don't think we should criticize them for that. In as much as we have people playing for us as well, that's fair enough.
I mean, most of our mixed race kids that were born outside, they
Yes,
come to
miss
play at home.
race, and maybe they feel like they are doing way better there, or just like the same thing when our own people come to Europe to play, but when it comes to indigenous our own match, they are reluctant because of the system that is not working. That's why we kept saying that NFF should put its houses in order so the people can actually be interested in whatever they do. We do hope that they will train very well this time, and they will just trash that Benin. We don't want to hear story. It should be a walkover, as a matter of fact. And Finidi, I rest my case. Sport analyst go decide your
Maybe right
matter
now,
after that.
let's go is not having BP because Finidi can never be himself for now until he sees that the Eagles are making victory. Because right now, I
But
feel
that
like
is the job. That is what the job is all about. It's not for you to
No,
come and
it's not a
sleep
job. I
and
no
wake up.
sympathy for me. I talk her. No sympathy for Finidi. Now say, hey, free
No.
kind of Finidi. Because my home coach, the job of the coach is to go and deliver. If you don't deliver,
It's
you go to
just
shut the door.
the coach is not supposed to go and rest and be sleeping and be driving his G-Wagon. No. To hit
Nigerians,
them back to back. Boys, do this, do this, do that. And before you know, they start doing well. Nothing good comes easy now, Mary.
that's true,
No,
that's
Nigeria
true.
should
But
bash so that the man make you know say yes, you have a job ahead of you. That is the essence. We've been saying indigenous coach. He should look within. He should look around. He knows what to do. Now he has made a mistake of not bringing some people, which he was trying to explain. Maybe the next match is going to do better. How can you not bring them for South Africa? Now is it better? You want to you actually keeping them for? First of all, when the going, when the beginning
Rice
is
also.
when the beginning is you know is what will I say, once you start something and the zeal is much, that will also keep you going. No, but if you start on this note of very dull, weak and all that, before you know, you just become lazy and all that. So I think it's a good move for him now to go and start up gathering these guys, bringing them on camp to make sure that every other match is a hit, not this one we saw before. Because, like Daddy Chris said, they cannot come to our home and draw us. It doesn't actually make sense. Anyways, viewers, thank you for being on the show. Thank you, Daddy Chris and Mary, for being on the show as well, and to my beautiful self. It's Monday. Yes, what a way to start the week. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media handles, follow us, leave us with your comments, subscribe to our pages, and of course, share our beautiful content across your platforms. And as well, don't forget that our magazine, this last month's edition, is out. Is a way of you to showcase your amazing brand, career, self to the world and their archives as well. So do where to actually call out to us, to put you here. You can see this beautiful piece there. That could be you, just a call away. And don't forget also, logistic is out there in Abuja, just a call away. You don't need to stress yourself to travel, the transportation and all that stress. Just call and we'll just pick up and drop at your doorstep very quickly too. And don't forget our apartments we have in Lagos, Abuja, and London, where is a beautiful place, home away from home. And of course, nothing but luxury, comforts. Premium is what you get, everywhere is well equipped, and of course, all the basic facilities are there. And don't forget that we have a free Wi-Fi as well. Driver also that can take you around to explore the city, the town is there available. So please do where to reach out to us. And of course, don't forget our Nigerian Week London that is fast approaching. All hand on deck. Just we have a lot of things already packed full. This is the film light film festival. We have the film screening. We have Nollywood people that will be coming to that event already. The real estate talk. We have agriculture. We're going to look at that sector, and of course, we also have Nigerian food show where we're going to bring Nigerian food into the streets of London. It's going to be Nigeria. We're actually trying to bring Nigeria home here in London for 1 week, and so call to partner with us, call to sponsor, and call to be part of it. And the award ceremony is going to actually wrap it all up.
First time, Princess, we are opening the awardees. Now this is the
Yes.
first time we're opening the awardees, man.
Okay.
I would just flip through some of them so they just take a look.
Yes.
These
So
are the
this is
people
what
we
we'll
send
be
in London.
having amazing people, which we'll be having on our show and that award. And of course, you know that is going to be beautiful. These are Nigerian people that have done where we have critically selected these people over the years. They have impacted on us as a people and as a country. And I think it's worth saying thank you to them. We appreciate you. And don't be left out. Be part of it. Call us, reach out, send an email, visit our website to see more details. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It's a Monday, and so let's start the week with a positive mindset, positive note. whatever you do out there, please, whatever you do, make sure that you do the right thing this week. And Labour, we await Labour and federal government decision today. Let's see what the news will be like tomorrow, And just before we go, Daddy Chris, don't you think that our lawmakers should start being paid with the new minimum wage as well?
Of
Must they be
course.
paid these millions?
Yes, and that is the most important thing. By the time, and it's even better for the lawmakers. You see, princess, the Bible was saying, "What will it please you to gain the whole world and lose your soul?" That's something they say. That's exactly what they're doing. At the end of the day, they get all the salary and they are not secured. They don't have peace. They end up having a beautiful home outside, but they can have a beautiful home in Nigeria if everybody is getting that equal amount of money and there's a movement society. Supposing you live in a Nigeria where there's no crime, where you're not afraid to go out, where your child can go to normal school. Like in those days, princess, would that not be better for everyone? Not even for the lawmakers. Is that not better for them? Do they need to be slave masters? And with all this whole blame, are they happy? I don't see it. And I think it's better for them and for us. So, equal salary, their salary should be level. They are civil servants. They are not different. They are civil servants. They're there to serve us. So, their salary should be on the same rating as, maybe that's when they will talk about this minimum wage in a lighter note. They'll be happier then.
That's right. I think our lawmakers, all of the ministers, since everybody is civil servant, it should be on the same.
And there will be no security vote.
Yes.
I don't hear security vote in there to member of parliament in the UK. What security vote? Look at the amount they pay a security vote for nonsense. You don't need security vote, sir. See, anyway, it's difficult to preach it for them because they are benefiting it. So that's the problem, princess. The people who are
But
to
I
change
think,
it,
but I think that is what Labour should be hammering on as well. Since
that's
you
what
want
Labour
us
is trying
to
to
have
do.
this,
That's why they
okay,
hate
let
Labour.
it be flat for everybody, and just maybe
Yes.
when they start feeling it as well, they will now understand, how it is for others. And
You know,
and
you know how many of them will die the same day? If Tinubu receive that kind of money, it will not be the same day it will die.
even
Eh.
medicals, only their medicals alone, their money they are dropping from the nation. They will now understand the pains that others has actually been going through.
Princess,
Anyway,
Princess, to be fair, when I see Tinubu wake up, not as a president, many of us, when they wake up every morning, they are like what we see in the days of slave trade. Master is up, and the slaves are running up and down. What your guy talk? What is slave? You understand? Is that relationship we have in Nigeria? It's not a relationship of employer and an employee. It's a relationship of a slave and slave masters, and it's bad. Princess, understand it. During the slave time, this is how they were treating us. And it's exactly what they are doing now in Nigeria. So the slave trade that has been abandoned in America, in Europe, and now will bring it back home. It's a
you
serious
know,
issue.
I watched a show yesterday where Ali Baba was saying that the most annoying thing about the Japa is that people are now liquidating their what's it called here, business and everything to travel abroad, their resources to travel abroad. And he feels that these same people there are people that are supposed to be making it here because of the kind of career or the kind of talent they have. And the person that was with him now said, but don't you think that in environment is that I think Nigeria environment is way above the career and all that. When you live in an environment when you are not, like you said, a slave, that is the word, you have become a slave in your land, right? You are not a slave. Insecurity is stopping it all. So you
Princess,
cannot even
remember I
look
went to interview
to.
with this solicitor here, who said he was ready to come home if he's hunger he can survive. The only thing he's worried about is insecurity. So, and that is the hub of it. Many people want to come home. Even though, do you know if Africa is safe, how many black people in the West will be locating home? I'm talking of Stephen Wonder was in Ghana a few days ago. None of them come to Nigeria. Let's understand this. Nigeria should be ashamed. Have you seen these top American guys? Bob Marley children, all of them, they visit Ghana. None of them come to Nigeria. We should ask ourselves that question.
Because of the insecurity, sir. So it's the same thing we're saying. When a place is not secure, you wouldn't want to gamble. You
So we
wouldn't
can't
want
blame
to
the people.
gamble.
That's why they are running away. We are running away not because of food, not because of hunger, because of insecurity. Princess, I want to come home. What stopped me from coming home? I'm a little bit scared, even in my own village. Two young boys 2 days ago killed themselves trying to be village chairman. You understand? And this is our we never it's on things we were unheard of when I was growing up. It's our time. So we have to deal with it. And you know what I said? These are children we refuse to train. Do you know the truth is those of us that went to school we never go there now and say we want to be youth chairman. Princess, quote me. So look at the people fighting to be youth chairman tomorrow, killing themselves. You will see that they were the ones that were abandoned.
That's true.
So so if we refuse to train them today, they're going to be youth chairman. They're going to cause nuisance. Nuisance.
Anyway, the take home today should be that charity should begins at home. Parents, please. I will always say it's not enough to just give birth to a child that okay, I am giving them gari rice. No. Be there for them emotionally, psychologically, otherwise be there for these children. The Bible said that train up children in the way they should grow, so that when they are old, they do not depart from it. Train them. They should be conscious. They should have human hearts, and they should know that this life you cannot take it all. It doesn't belong to you. Just do the right thing. I don't know. I'm just sad. I'm tired today, and it's Monday. I don't want to start the week like this, but what can we do? The things we hear from Nigeria is disheartening, and we're not happy. We're not happy. That would be a good place to draw the curtain today. We do this again tomorrow.
Okay, Princess, thank you very much for leading us. Good night.
SRTV. Innovative content.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than SRTV Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. SRTV goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your SRTV Shortlet apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. You can reach us by calling this number 070-623